So, you're the first entrepreneur that I've ever met that owns their own modeling agency. Tell us more about that.
Honestly, it's a lot. It's a lot. It kind of just fell on my lap. I actually was represented by the actual agency that I own now, and I just took it on, and it's been flourishing ever since.
What kind of challenges have you faced, trying to build this business behind the scenes?
Being a very diverse and inclusive agency, that's not really the norm. So I'm trying to break those barriers with this agency to show that we are marketable and that we can do the same thing.
If they're trying to get into the space of modeling in general, give me the top 3 things you think they need to focus on if they're trying to break into the business as a business person.
As a business person, definitely having a
What's up, everybody? This is Marcel Clark, and this is Hustle and Grow. Today I have Shantae Menendez with us. How you doing, Shantae?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am doing well. So, you're the first entrepreneur that I've ever met that owns their own modeling agency. Tell us more about that.
So as far as the modeling agency, it kind of just fell on my lap. I actually was represented by the actual agency that I own now. So I was the first masculine presenting female model on the actual team. And not even less than a year, things happened, conversations sparked. I had the previous background of owning kind of a agency prior to, and I just took it on, and it's been flourishing ever since.
So talk to me about like behind the scenes when, you run a modeling agency, like what are the nuts and bolts of that type of business?
Honestly, it's a lot. It's a lot. I do it by myself. I do have a team. I have a team of 14 people that work with me. It's a combination of the managers. It's like 5 managers. And then I have the rest who's the creative team. So the makeup artist, the barber, the MUA, the makeup, the hairstylist. Then we have the photographers, videographers, and then of course, talent, the models themselves. So it's a lot to, I wouldn't say we ask for this, right? We're entrepreneurs, right? We ask to get busy. We ask to build, right? I would say it's just about having like a lot of patience and communication with everybody. There's different types of personalities with the whole entire team. So you got to make sure everybody understands their goal, understands what we're doing, especially the models themselves. Just being, patient and just understanding everybody has a certain goal to get to and being able to accomplish those goals through all our projects.
So, like, what kind of challenges have you faced, trying to, build this business behind the scenes?
Wow, a lot. I get a lot. I not that it's been a problem, but I expect it in the industry that I'm in. For starters, being a very diverse and inclusive agency that allows masculine women to be presented, non-binary, trans models, that's not really the norm in a regular agency. It kind of gets looked frowned upon because, they feel it's not the typical type of models that they want out there to represent a brand, So I'm trying to break those barriers with this agency to show that we are marketable and that we can do the same thing. So I faced a lot of challenges on that with the models themselves, but also being the owner and also being an LGBT, rep in my community. It's brought some type of comments and stuff like that, can shake anybody up, but the way that I am and my character and how professional I am, we just keep pushing and we keep building. So I'd say I've dealt with a lot of some negative comments here and there. They're going to say, oh, well, the owner's LGBT. Of course, he's going to put LGBT models, but it's more so just opening the lane for everybody. Everybody's beautiful. Everyone can create art. And I just want to make it known that we can all represent and market ourselves through these brands. So
do you feel like you face a lot of discrimination as you try to knock down these barriers? Because like you said, you have a large part of our society that's just ignorant to, that entire space. So do you feel like you have to deal with more? And if you do, how do you deal with that mentally? Because you're already dealing with a lot as an owner. How do you deal with it mentally when you feel like, okay, you're in the room, but people are basically, doing what they do when they want to act like they come up with reasons why they can't do business with you?
Well, luckily I haven't had to run into that where people feel like they can't do business with me. I feel like the way that I approach people and just how professional I am and my charm and my charisma and how I'm very positive, I go off of energy. So I like to go in with everything take a grain of salt and just kind of have a conversation. But I never put myself in situations where I know it's not going to prosper, if that makes sense. Just like anybody, we do our research. We kind of see who our clients are going to be and stuff like that. And we kind of see if it's going to work, if it's not going to work. But I always try to just be positive and network and just talk to people and kind of fill them out. And it's been working thus far, and it's been nothing but positive feedback and a lot of support and love from everybody.
So do you feel like the fact that you were a model beforehand has helped you navigate the space behind the scenes and to push your company forward?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely working behind the scenes. I can give the models a little more support and nurture them in different ways and not only help them professionally, but personally. Absolutely.
But okay, so you're all about inclusivity. Talk to me about that because I saw that come up when I was reading about you. Like inclusivity, meaning that I know you don't want to be
sizes.
Right. All sizes, all genders, no matter across the board. You're just trying to make sure that everybody gets to go in. That's cool. Yeah, I mean that's definitely groundbreaking. Do you have quote unquote models that basically are already affiliated with a certain lane? Do they gravitate towards you as well? Do models do they show you guys love because you're so diverse, or do certain models kind of go shy away from it? How does that work in your industry?
I'm gonna say that I've had models across the board reach out. We have a new casting happening in January, early February, late January, new casting call. And since I've put out the models that I have now, and they've done brands, they've done private shoots, and we build in their portfolio, they've seen these very different models come out and produce this amazing work. So I've been getting tons of emails like, hey, how can we join? How can we do this? How can we do that? Can I work with you guys? It's been literally across the board. This past year, I can say my emails have been booming, literally.
So what's the key to building your business, establishing your brand? What do you have to do to kind of push your company forward?
Definitely networking. For me, I like to go to different network events. I'll go to different mixers and I'll do a lot of women empowerment events. I've been to a couple of those. I've gone to different events where it's a lot of photographers and models that go to these mixers, and there'll be brands there. I'll go hand out my card, let them know who I am. I'll sometimes even come with models myself that I represent. One that's tall, short. Or I'll come with a non-binary model so they can see that what I represent. And I have them come out. They'll come and talk to different people. Or sometimes I've been asked to speak at these panels to kind of give advice and motivate young women like myself, or just women in general, to kind of expand and push their brand out there.
And it feels like you have a Latino background.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you try to push in that direction too, to bring more minorities into the fold? Because I know, again, across the board, you have to face a lot of challenges across all kinds of businesses. And, for a couple of my companies, I employ a lot of minorities. So do you try to show them the game too? Because I would think that there has to be a lot of Latinos that really want to break into the business, but they just don't know how. And I mean, if I see you as, a leader in the community, I would think that they're looking for you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I said, the events that I've been to, I've seen a lot of Latino-owned businesses, fashion designers, creative directors on set that come to the panels, and I've seen it, and I encourage them, especially if they're women. I'm all about women empowerment, so I'm always encouraging people of my race and my community, do the damn thing, push.
Yeah. So what do you think needs to happen so you can kind of break through to that next level? What are the challenges you face trying to just push your company up there to that next level of exposure?
Right now, like I said, the next level is just more engagement with marketing. A lot of things are just really on Instagram. I feel like Instagram has taken over a lot of the a lot of the ways to kind of if it's a good reel, it's going to blow up. If it's a good photo, it's going to blow up. So I just try to just kind of stay focused on what our projects are what our main focus is on, what we're trying to gravitate toward, what we're trying to push. If it's going to be more commercial-like, if it's going to be more brand-like, I want to be able to attract brands. I want to attract designers. I want to attract music people, singers, artists, for them to book our models. So it's just been a little bit of trying to do more video work on Instagram and kind of do those little minute reels and stuff like that, trying to get them to eye catch and kind of build that momentum. Some hit, some don't. So we just got to keep building up on the ladder on just more work.
Yeah, that IG content build is a beast, though. So especially again, you're in such a visual space that I'm sure is a little bit more challenging because of curation. I'm sure you because you're trying to brand your business. So talk about that. Like, is that really as challenging as it feels like it would be? Because again, IG is all about pictures, and it like the platform itself. It really lends to your industry, but it feels like the space is probably crowded. So you have to try to do your best to differentiate yourself, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I get that. So is IG one of your main platforms, or like what are your main platforms for advertising? Like push
right now, TikTok and Instagram. TikTok and Instagram are my biggest platforms that I use. More Instagram than anything, but definitely TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah. So what you gonna do when they shut TikTok down?
We're gonna just flood it with Instagram. We're gonna flood it to Instagram and use Facebook next.
Just go and shift it over. Huh? I hear you, man. Yeah. So I love for like my listeners to try to figure out, like, if they're trying to get into the space of modeling in general. Give me the top 3 things you think they need to focus on if they're trying to break into the business as a business person.
As a business person,
Yeah.
definitely having a blueprint set out, knowing who you want to represent, what kind of what are you trying to open up? Like for me, I knew that I wanted to be an agency in a space for all type of models. So we're talking plus size, we're talking short models, tall models, petite models. I wanted to represent everybody because they need that. A lot of people kind of turn that away. Definitely a blueprint of what you want. What do you want to add as far as like team members, a creative director, a stylist, an MUA, like getting your blueprint together on how you're going to build it up from the ground up. Definitely people that you can say have the same vision. Like having a good team is always solid. I kind of just found my team this past year. Like I just found my solid ground team that have the same vision, are dedicated like me, basically do everything because they really feel it's going to work, and they have their best interests and their best foot forward when it comes to the company. They're they're literally a replica of me. So definitely having a blueprint, having a good team, and most importantly, just having a good positive mindset. I feel like a lot of things have happened to me this past year, and it's skyrocketed every other month because I've remained positive. I'm patient, and I know that my time will come. And I may be putting all my eggs in a basket, but the fact that like I said, I have my solid team, it's all just flourishing in different directions. And just the fact that I stay positive and I'm patient, everything just, moves according to plan. I don't rush anything. When it's meant to be, it will be.
Well, I think a lot of people don't really realize how important that statement is, right? The doors don't open when they think they're supposed to open, and they basically get frustrated and give up. Real entrepreneurs, you like you're doing, you just push through it with the great attitude, and it all will work out if it's supposed to work out. So I definitely agree with you. I believe that. So talk to me about, like, what's your game plan for the next couple of years? Where are you trying to take your company, and what do you think that should look like? What will it look like?
So the next plan for JRM basically is to try to gain international placements. I know Jersey is solid. I have a lot of Jersey connections here in New York, but I want these models to fly overseas. I want to do shows in Dubai. I want to do shows in Japan and Miami. And that's the next thing that I'm working on, and it will happen next year. Next year, these models will fly overseas. I think with the international placements, I think I'll be solid. I'll get to work with different private clients. That's definitely the main goal, is to be international. And then at some point, possibly, obviously get a physical space, a physical office, physical space, and just be one of a kind in New Jersey. I want to take over New Jersey and be the only mother agency in New Jersey.
Well, you know what? That's interesting that you say that, because I've always thought about, like, when it comes to music modeling, either you need to be in New York or you need to be in LA. And I think that's probably like the consensus. So I'm assuming, do you feel like you benefit from being right there in Jersey, which is, it's a stone throw away from New York? So do you believe that your business placement gives you an advantage in the industry?
Yes and no. And I'm going to say no because wherever you start, you should finish. You know what I'm saying? If especially if you know you're the first of its kind where you are, right? As far as no, but as far as yes, I would say yes because a lot of shows and big shows happen in New York City. So I get that outlet there, and of course, there's other bigger shows that happen across the seas. So it's a 50-50. I guess it's just kind of just how you play it, how you lay your cards out. If I can bring more designers to Jersey and be like, hey, we have agency, we have great models here, and they can start doing shows in Jersey and find a very big venue, then maybe I can steer that direction and kind of make it a hot spot too, right? But for the most part, I'd say 50-50, 50-50.
So I know that's a cool goal to be international. So is the international market about more exposure? Is it more lucrative? What's the draw with doing it internationally? Like, it's definitely another level, but like, what is it all about?
Definitely more exposure, of course. I would love to be known in Dubai. I would love to be known in Paris. I could look at their roster and you can see Jamila Reine Models on that roster to get models from. So definitely once they know who we are and that they're seeing talent that they're like in love with and getting booked. For example, when I send out castings to my models, right? And they assign and register to Paris or Japan. If that same model got booked in Japan and Paris, that's my name on the runway. When they put their name, they put what agency it's from. I can go physically see my model walk, interact and network, give out cards. Then next year they can reapply and then you just start going a little more each time. And then you can start kind of like, all right, we want to be a roster for you guys to pick models from, and then it just works its way into always having a certain placement in certain cities and states like that. So that way you can get booked and called like, hey, we want your models. How much, or you cover flight, we cover flight, stuff like that. So it does have a benefit and I want to be everywhere.
Yeah, hey, listen, that makes sense. I mean, the more visibility, the bigger you're going to be. So do you ever have to collaborate with other organizations? Do you have collaborations with, any cross sponsorships or things like that right now?
Right now, sponsorships, no, with the agency, not right now. Everything I do is solely anything that's private client, anything that we get booked for, or just clients that know us, that know a lot of the models. A lot of my models do a lot of runway shows. So we get our exposure and callbacks from that as well.
So you exude leadership. Tell me the three leadership thing, you like the characteristics of a leader that are important in your industry.
Organization, patience, and communication.
I like those. Those are
Okay,
my top.
those are the three, and especially let's put a capital P on patience for
Uh,
sure. Patience. Like I said, these models, different personalities. You got to deal with a lot. You got to deal with a lot.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, I mean, because you're dealing with a lot of personalities, divas. Some are established, some aren't. So I'm sure you have to do it. That's a lot of politicking. Sound like it would go on in that environment. Yeah, so I can see how patience is a real big thing in your industry. That's cool. So Shantae, tell my people where can they find you so they can follow you and be a part of your movement.
So on Instagram at Jamila Reine Models, and also I have my website www.jamilarainemodels.com. On TikTok as well, all through across Facebook. They can find me there, and they can find all the work we've done, all the brands, everything we're doing and currently doing. So yeah, you can find us there.
Well, you know what? I want to tell you thank you for being on the show. I really feel like, again, you're in the brown gray space, and you're bringing something different to the table. And I love that how you're being so inclusive, so everybody can get a shot. I mean, that's one of a kind right there. So I mean, definitely good luck to you and your company.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time and thank you for having me on.
All right, y'all. That's Shantae Menendez, and she's on Hustle and Grow. And remember, hit that subscribe button because we want to get a lot of likes so we can do a lot of shows. And remember, if hustling's in your DNA, ride with me and watch us grow.